Happy Tuesday, and welcome to the Rama from Satsang practice session, where you'll learn a modern Satsang method for obtaining peace, light, and love in your life. My name is Eddie, and I will be introducing the facilitator for today's event. But first, I'd like to give you a brief overview of this Satsang session. If you direct your attention towards your screen, you'll see the first element is Satsang. Satsang is a scientific method whereby we may obtain peace, light, and love in our life. It requires no physical skill, spiritual accomplishment, or meditation experience to begin its practice. Satsang consists of two words, Sat and Sang. Sat means positive energy, and Sang means to be with. Therefore, the word Satsang means to be in the presence of positive energy. The next element is meditation. Meditation is an important part of Satsang. When we meditate, we withdraw consciousness from worldly objects and direct it inwards to focus on a single thought. In doing so, our minds become calm and our thoughts become pure, thereby allowing us to obtain higher states of consciousness, such as enlightenment, peace, light, and love. Inner orientation. There are two types of Satsang, inner Satsang and outer Satsang. An example of outer Satsang would be chanting or attending pilgrimages. When we practice outer Satsang, we have the potential to change our behavior, but only through the practice of inner Satsang can we obtain higher states of consciousness, such as enlightenment, peace, light, and love. The Satsang that you will learn today is an inner Satsang where we meditate in silence. Group session. These practice sessions are structured for group participation. When we meditate as a group, our focus is improved and our personal progress along our spiritual path is expedited. By regularly attending these practice sessions, the benefits of group participation are amplified. Joy and inner happiness. All beings wish to experience joy. Joy is the eternal longing of the soul. But only through the practice of inner Satsang can we obtain a joyous state. Each time we practice Satsang, our inner happiness gradually increases, ultimately culminating in a state of joy, which we experience 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The agenda for today consists of 3 sessions: the informative session, the practice session, and the interactive session. During the informative session, a lecture will be given about a Satsang topic, the founder, or some relevant spiritual topic. During the practice session, you'll receive instructions on how to meditate, followed by a period of practice. During the interactive session, you have the opportunity to ask questions, or there'll be a panel discussion. And now, I'd like to introduce the facilitator for today's event. He has over 40 years of Satsang experience. He's the grandson of Guru Maharaj, the founder of Ramashram Satsang. He was born into a Satsang family where he experienced his family members obtain states of enlightenment and lead lives of peace, light, and love. At an early age, he began traveling with the mission throughout India, facilitating satsangs. And during that time, he witnessed the positive effects that satsang could have on mankind. And upon arriving to the United States, both he and his wife continued to facilitate satsangs for local satsangees. He has led teams of satsang members in translating important satsang literature into English, and has worked tirelessly to make satsang more accessible to Western and English-speaking audiences. He currently travels throughout the United States, India, and England, facilitating satsangs while maintaining his duties as a husband, a father, and an IT executive. Today, he will teach us a rare and ancient form of satsang as taught by Guru Maharaj. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Sanjeev Kumarji.
So happy Tuesday, everyone. I'm glad that we're here, and thanks, Eddie. And, talking about the travels, I just came back this morning from the Bay Area satsang over the weekend. So there were 2 sessions on Saturday, 1 session on Sunday, the traditional ones, where different places, and then there was a 4th one in English in person in a school in San Jose. Um, and yeah, it was actually pretty charged up, very, very good, good sessions. And today I was just thinking about, in for some good or not so good reason, um, in some of the brochures and branding, we started calling this satsang or started referring to it as guided meditation also. And this year, I think I want to go away from that a little bit, and just leave it as unique meditation practice, while satsang has more elements to it. But uh, the so um, when I was in India earlier, the beginning of the year, um, there was a FM session which I couldn't attend because I wasn't well, but they sent me some questions. And one of the questions, because of this, uh, reference to guided meditation, the question was, how effective is guided meditation for beginners, and what makes it different from other forms of meditation? And essentially, the question was more about satsang and what we follow, but is referred to as guided meditation. So, um, what I so I recorded some videos on this, and it talked about that all meditation should be guided meditation, in my view. And the reason I say that is, you don't, for sometimes very trivial things, you don't, doctor yourself. You go to a qualified doctor. Problem, I think, in this case is, the qualified becomes an issue, but it's pretty well known that people have suffered, because of practicing asanas and pranayams the wrong way, the physical exercises and breathing exercises, in yogic terms, it's if not done the right way. I actually met very recently, I think in November, there was a discussion around, somebody did, some very basic asana in, not exactly the right way, and that caused some problems. And because of that, when I started back my yoga, I actually found someone who was very well referred, and he's from India. I do online yoga classes there, and he is from one of the few yoga universities in India, in the northern India. And talking about online, I started online sessions way back when, but I think this year I have to figure out how to, get at least some sessions in person and get people in person. So maybe that. So I'm updating the website for that. So talking a little more about guided meditation. So my view is that these days guided meditation has taken a very narrow view, and breath work, in which you get instructions, obviously very positive and very uplifting instructions, but I feel those instructions, because they continue to come as you do your meditation. What I have practiced for 40 years, I feel based on that meditation ought to be practiced in practiced in silence. So mindfulness, kirtans, bhajans, mantras, chanting, actually prepare you for the real deep silent meditation. All sessions. So since I was born in this this satsang family, and so I have been attending these sessions, all through my life, and each session here starts with an instruction, because I think mind has to be told again and again. It's like the kids, keep sending the message over and over and over, and still, hope that the instructions will stick. So those, yeah. So in true terms, I feel that this is guided meditation, because all group sessions here start with, instructions. And then if we take this a little further, guidance is crucial before meditation sessions, absolutely, but also throughout the spiritual journey, throughout this, journey to self-realization. Guru Maharaj guided millions towards the goal of self-realization, and packaged. So what we will practice now, he packaged this system based on his personal achievement of what he called the ocean of peace. And then finally, I also feel that if you are in an unknown terrain, you need to have a GPS system. So if you don't want to get lost, you have to have a guide or a GPS system. So I from that perspective also, I feel, it's it got to be guided. Now, somebody was it yesterday, day before? So day before, we had this in-person session, and after the session, one person was asking that, so he was talking about breath work and breathing exercises and vipassana and things like that. And so basically what I said was that, yes, those things do, regulate your breathing, but even this meditation results in that. So while the focus is to manifest transcendental energy in form of light, when you do get into deep meditation, this process also regulates your breathing, and so that's the key, because when energy is in the two other nerves, it is said to be positive or negative, but when it gets balanced, it's in the sushumna. So that happens here as well. So as far as the end result is concerned, you get that as well. So anyway, let's practice as we usually do. So I'll just repeat the instructions here. I think, Yuan, if you could bring the inner yoga slide, we could just inward orientation and concentration is where we start. So eyes lightly closed, and still and relaxed posture. So both those things help inward orientation. So we're going to focus inwards and will manifest transcendental energy in form of light within our heart. So eyes lightly closed and still and relaxed posture, both those things help us focus our mind on this manifestation. Because sensory input through the eyes, and every time the body moves, your mind moves with it. So inward orientation requires that you sit still and then focus inwards. So what we're focusing on, or the object of concentration, or what we're trying to manifest, is this transcendental energy in form of light. And this light is coming into your heart, enlightening it, and then distributing throughout your body. And you're becoming completely and totally immersed in this light. So you are becoming the light. Mind will wander away because mind doesn't want to stay focused on one thing. So from barrage of thoughts, when you try to focus on one thing, as soon as it finds an opportunity, it will wander away. So practice, practice, practice. That's the answer for that. But what you do when you realize that mind has wandered away, you bring it back. Bring it back to this thought, and this thought alone, that you're observing this transcendental energy in form of light. And it's not far, it's right here, right now. Just feel the presence, feel the connection, and this transcendental energy in form of light is entering in your heart, into your heart, and distributing throughout your body, and you're becoming one with this light. We'll start with music. Music helps concentration, and then we will we will go into deep silent meditation, and then we will transition out again with music. So let's start now. So happy Tuesday, everyone. So any thoughts, questions, comments? No videos today. Hey, Steve, how are you? Oh, you still muted. There
Yeah,
you
I was just yeah, I've just been thinking about the last few sessions, and we talked about the importance of self-knowledge. So I was trying to think about that quite a bit here this week, and I think purpose of that is to help us find our true self. I was teaching about the Shakers this week, and they believe that everybody has an inner light, a conscience that guide should guide us or can help to guide us. And I was just reading about how they meditated too. They would get up at the break of dawn and start working, and then they would take a break and meditate. And I know that a lot of our civil rights gains, I think, in the United States have come about in part because of groups like them that just emphasize that inner light and trying to do the right thing. So I just in some everyday things have made some connections. And then you talked about food and the importance of food on Saturday, and so just trying to be more conscious about some of that. It gets difficult sometimes, or you just get presented. I know in our teachers lounge, people always bring in treats, and it's so easy to just indulge in those types of things. So just trying to be conscious about the decisions we make. And tonight, just you're talking about the importance of guided meditation, and I'm just learning so much. So I appreciate all that you do, and I appreciate where you come from and all that you know, and I'll leave it at that, I guess.
yeah. I think let's focus on the journey and the destination, and everything else. Guru Maharaj used to say is just, either a ritual or a distraction, but interestingly, and this Sunday morning, we had a session in San Jose, and I took the food discussion to the next level, and I got some pushbacks. It's like, and I very, very, so it's very, I think see, some things are documented, researched, but then, it gets misinformation, convenience sometimes, cultural impact, and the busy, in the guise of being busy, we don't have to compromise on, we have to figure out ways in which we have to figure out ways to stay healthy. We have to figure out ways to, and the connection between what you think and that's what you become, and what you think is so connected to the food. So if you, do the continuum, food directly impacts your meditation. And it has far more significant. So it's like, I think it was last year, I recorded a video, and I had read about this so many times before, and it was about silence, significance of silence. And I mean, and again, I mean, there is so much that is written about it, but, listening without silence is not possible. And listening is very, very important for a teacher, for a leader, for a mother, for, I mean, it goes on and on. And you cannot learn until and unless you, like you read, you study, you take a walk. What happens? I mean, neurons get adjusted and reconnected. I mean, it's like, and that time to rest. So during the sleep, a lot of that happens. A lot of digestion happens during the sleep. It's like, but yeah, I think a 2024, I used to talk very, very focused on meditation alone, but 2024, it's like food, the impact of food on meditation, silence, some other, things that we do normally, naturally, how that impacts meditation. And I think we have talked a little bit about service. I mean, service, again, absolutely and totally direct impact on your meditation, right? It's like when you help someone, it's like it's pure joy. It's and the more selfless it is, the more less talked about it is, the more joy will, result from it. Anyway, I think you triggered me there, I think.
I went to the Bob Marley movie last night, One Love.
Wow.
That really
I got to see that one.
Really, he talked about wealth not being necessarily financial wealth, but true wealth is our ability to positively impact the lives of others. If we would measure wealth in that way, I think the world would be a very different place.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So Shivangi, Anita ji, anything to add here? Good conversation.
Oh, I really enjoyed those sessions from the Bay Area, Sanjeevji.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Yes, your point about the food is well taken, and we all need to work towards it. And hopefully we'll be able to. Sometimes it's just convenience. Sometimes we give way to, indulgences. But yeah, controlling all aspects of what we can control, I think, helps. Would go a long way towards helping controlling the mind too, right? It's kind of controlling the mind, right? Trying to control the mind to try to eat correctly.
Yeah. See,
would help.
Absolutely. And actually, it is very, very deeply connected with the emotional state as well. So, yeah.
So yes, work to be done.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. So Eddie, any wrap-up thoughts for today before we get going?
the topic of food, I just share something. I experienced some allergies to foods, and I saw a environmental doctor, and he recommended that I stop eating certain things, certain meats with antibiotics in it, and so forth. And at that time, I was studying martial arts as well, Tai Chi, and then some northern forms of Shaolin. And so, as I started to change my diet, I experienced more energy. And then that's sort of gave me this realization that, what I ate made a difference. I could perform better when I ate these more energetics, more healthy food. And so it was through that practical experience that made me sort of open my eyes to the possibility that food really does make a difference in our bodies. And from there, I just sort of, continued my studies and so forth. But, the funny part is that, that experience actually happened when I lived in San Jose. And that was also the formal beginnings of my spiritual studies as well. So
Wow.
I wish I was there. I wish I was there to hear your speech about the food. That would have been quite appropriate.
That's interesting.
Yeah. But that's how I really became involved with changing my diet and learning that the properties of foods has an impact on our health and on our well-being, and also on our consciousness, the ability to increase our consciousness and expand our consciousness and make us more aware.
Yeah, definitely. All right. On that note, love, light, and peace be with you all. See you soon. So,
Namaskar. Thank you.
Thank you, Sanjeev.
Bye.
Bye,
Thank you.
Jeff, Shweta ji, Renu ji.